Good morning everybody, welcome to another video. As you can see, I'm sat in my car at the moment, just sheltering from the rain. It's just gone 5 AM on Friday the 6th of August, and I am down the Wye again for another day session down here, full day down here. We can fish from dawn, hence me getting here now. I'm a little bit earlier than dawn, but I'm just sat in my car, as I say, sheltering from the rain. The sun's just starting to come up over there. And we can fish till an hour after dark, which will be about 10 o'clock. So we've got plenty of time to do some fishing today. So I'm not in a massive rush to get started. I'm on a stretch that I've never fished before. Now, I think it's pronounced Suggas Court, but I'm not exactly sure. It's S-U-G-W-A-S. It's on the Wye I'd Foundation portfolio. And yeah, I haven't been here before. Never set eyes on it, apart from I saw a video on YouTube with Dean Macy in it, who was fishing here. He did okay. And the Wye's not fishing particularly well at the moment. We had a bit of a struggle on Monday, didn't we? This is the last day today. That was the first day of my factory shutdown. This is the last day today of my factory shutdown, hence being able to fish all day. But yeah, it's not fishing great at the moment. There's a algal bloom going on. It's really not good. It's very low. Reason I've booked it really was because, as I say, I'm on factory shutdown, and I just wanted to make the most of my time away from work. Now, we're supposed to have a bit of rain now, a few showers for perhaps an hour or so. Actually, it's just stopping. a few showers for an hour or so, and then things are going to brighten up a bit, and it's sort of going to be mixture of cloud and sunshine. Maybe a case of fishing like we did last time, doing some trotting and then some feeder fishing. I think that's probably going to be all today, but until I see the stretch, really, I don't know. I mean, really, I'm looking at catching barbel, and there's plenty of chub in this stretch, so it'd be nice to catch some chub trotting like we did in the last session. So yeah, but really, having, as I say, not seen the stretch, it's gonna have to suck it and see a little bit. But I'm just going to have a quick cup of coffee, and then we'll go and have a look at the stretch when this sun gets up enough for us to see what we're doing. So guys, here we are. Now, what I've done since you last saw me is I've walked the whole stretch. Now, I've basically parked in the middle. There's a car park in the middle of the stretch, or parking by an orchard. I've parked there. I've walked the upstream stretch, which, with the river levels being very low, is very riffly, very shallow. There's a couple of reasonable looking swims, which I may have a go in later on. There's some far bank cover, and the flow is pushed to the far bank. So I might get in there later on. But for now, I've come further down the stretch. I've walked right the way down the stretch, betted a few swims on the way down. I'm going to fish them sort of in rotation for a few hours. I think what we'll do, plan at the moment, I think, is to fish in the morning and the evening for barbel, and perhaps do some trotting at lunchtime, as I mentioned earlier. Now, looking at the catch reports for this stretch, if you're not aware, the Wye I'd Foundation get you to fill in a catch report when you've fished. It's one of the requirements of fishing. Looking at catch reports, there's loads and loads of chub coming out of here, but not too many barbel, so I don't think it's going to be a prolific day. But the good news is the algal bloom doesn't seem to be up this far in the river. There's just a tinge of brown to the water, but it's certainly about 3 foot of visibility, something like that. So what I'm going to do is go on the feeder for now. Big Guru Gripper feeders I've got with me. Baits. Obviously got some cheesy garlic ground bait to go in the feeder. Baits I'm going to go with, I've got some of my Robin Red, rather beaten up Robin Red Luncheon meat from Dynamite baits. So I'll be using that. But I think we're going to catch some chub on that. So what I'm going to do first is use the Dynamite Hotfish GLM boilies that I've glugged in the matching liquid. I've got some paste that I've made from the boilies as well. I'm going to go on that first because chub don't seem to be too keen on it. I've had the odd one on it, but really they tend to leave it alone. So it's a good sort of anti-chub bait. So I'm going to get on that first. See if we can winkle out a barbel before the sun gets up properly. See what we can do. So I'm going to that on the hook. Gear I'm using is just my standard Barbel running ledger rig, which I've run through in previous videos. If you haven't seen that and you want to have a look, I'll stick a link up there. I'll also stick a link to the hook links that I use with this as well, because the system also works together. And also I'll stick a link to the video where I make the paste from the boilies, because if you fish a boilie like I do, which hasn't got a matching paste supplied, then obviously you want a paste, then obviously you need to knock up your own. You can actually make it from the boilies. Right, enough waffle. I'm going to fish these swims in rotation that I've baited up. We've basically got a foam line running through, which is about the deepest part of the river. So I'm just going to fish just on the edge of that. We'll give it 20 minutes, half an hour in each swim. That's usually long enough, and we'll fish them in rotation and see what happens. Always exciting fishing a new stretch. You never quite know what's going to happen. Really looking forward to this. Should mention really the reason I dropped onto this stretch in particular, because no one was booked onto it. The Wye stretches get booked up a long way in advance, but this one wasn't booked up, which is why I managed to get on here. Oh, we're getting some taps already. We're certainly going to fish big baits. We're not fishing for the barbel. If you're not aware as well, the Wye don't let you use maggots this time of year, and you're not allowed to use worms at all. So really we're limited to meat, boilies, pellets, and of course bread, which I can use as well, which I have got some if we do a bit of chub fishing. I actually saw a chub in here earlier, just milling about in the edge, a couple of pound. We're getting some clangs already. They're on the feeder. That's a good sign, there's fish about. Just realised I haven't run you through the tackle I'm using as well. I've got my Daiwa GS BRLT 500C reel there. I've got my, well, one of my Free Spirit Barbel Tamers, 12-foot Barbel Tamers. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful rods. These absolutely love them. Christened them on the Wye on Monday. The previous video. If you haven't seen that, go and have a look at the previous video. Some fantastic barbel action in some very fast water. Absolutely smashing away at my boilie. Either that or something's hooked itself. Well, that may well be the case. Nope. Absolutely teeming with fish down there. That's a good sign. Oh, I think if there's lots of fish about, it's a good swim. The little ones don't mind being there. There's no reason why the big ones will mind. A bit of depth in this swim as well. It's only, I don't know, 4 or 5 foot probably, but just feeling the feeder down. Deeper than that first swim we tried. Something out there chasing a lot of fish. Not sure what it is. Perhaps a trout chasing smaller fish. I'm not sure. The tip is just rattling away. Hordes of small fish. Seen any barbel yet. I've seen a chub, as I said. I've not seen any barbel. It's relatively shallow in front of me. A bit of a deep hole down where I'm fishing towards that overhanging tree. I can see the bottom all the way across here. I'd say it just deepens off here. There's certainly some fish down there. As I'm not holding the rod, I've just put the bait runner on just in case it screams off. Certainly some fish about. I think we're going to have some fun if we do a bit of trotting later. The only problem we may have middle of the day is canoes. I'm not sure how bad they are up above Hereford. Obviously you do get them, and it sort of stretches between Hereford and Ross. They do tend to start about 10 and about 4 o'clock. The last ones generally come through, and that could well be a bit of a pain. We're trying to sort of barbel fish or something. But, as I said, I'm not really anticipating doing that in the middle of the day, but who knows? Really don't know. I would like to do a bit of trotting, and the looks of the rattling and tapping that's going on my tip, I'm sure we'll do pretty well. Give it a little bit longer in here anyway. So, quick update. It's 8:15. Nothing doing so far. I think I was fishing for little chub and dace. I'd have bagged up by now. But I've done the swims in the field. Put some bait in there so we can always go back. Wind's picking up, as you can probably hear. What I've done is I've come back to the car for a cup of coffee. And what I'm going to do is go just a little bit upstream onto the beach there, where the sort of main channel that runs on the far side of the river near some cover. So I'm just wondering if perhaps ledgering across there, or even running a bit of meat through, might do the trick. So I think I'm going to have this for 10 minutes. 10-minute break, and then we'll get down there and have a go. So here we are on the sort of beach, which goes about halfway across the river, where I'm planning on getting into the flow. On the other side, as you can see, there's some cover all along the other side. Just hoping there's some barbel over there. Got a few pellets in. Although the wind's picked up, I've got a proper facer, I can't really get pellets far enough with a catapult, so I think we'll have to do most of the baiting up with a swim feeder. Suddenly really picked up. Might be blowing some rain over. Right, let's set that net up and then we'll get cast out. Right, let's see what happens. I think realistically we've probably only got maybe hour and a half here before I would imagine that we're going to get lots of canoes after that, and it's just going to be not fishable until they stop. So we've got a bit of a move to a swim that's really not very barbely, to be honest. Well, I thought I'd just give it a go for 10-15 minutes. Looks a little bit deeper in here. There's a bit of a snag round to the left. Just looks a bit more chubby really, but you never know. We've got all day and staying overcast, which is good. Moved off the beach area. There's a couple of guys turned up on the other bank, and I was fishing right across. And obviously, technically, we're only supposed to fish to halfway in the river, so nothing was happening down there anyway, to be honest. Yeah, the usual clangs and taps and rattles, but nothing barbely at all. And they'd sort of dropped in, and I could just see them actually. Just had a chub, a couple of pound, just literally dropping the bait in under the trees. They look like they're barbel fishing, but yeah, they chub out straight away. Go on, doggo. You right? How's it fishing down here at the moment? Do you know? Any idea how it's fishing down here at the moment? Plenty of little ones, it seems. Well, I've got massive bait on, so I'm just ignoring it, to be honest. But yeah, I might do a bit of trotting and a bit catch a few, but after something a bit bigger, really. I think it's a bit hot and cold. Could do with a bit of water on, really. I think it'd be better if it had a bit more water on. Oh, hello, blimey! That's a better one. I think that's a barbel. Blimey, that was out of the blue. Yeah. Yeah. We've got an audience there. That's right. No pressure, no. No. Blimey. I was at the blue. I fished out here for about an hour earlier, but nothing doing. I thought bite time had gone, I thought. Really? Come on, please. Not a monster, but got one on. A barbel. Yeah.
I'm a carp man. So
How are you?
I'm a lazy fisherman.
They just don't give up, do they? They don't give up. I think he has just about now. Oh, he's not a bad one. There you go. Okay. Oh. Blimey, you could stay behind me all day, you three.
That's a long barbel, mate.
It's alright, that is. Let him get his breath back. Oh, he's about 5 pounds. Stick him there, let him get his breath back. Well, guys, there we are. Wonderful stuff. Very unexpected as well. I was just having a chat with a local chap, just walking his dogs with his couple of kids. I said to him, they brought me luck. Swim I fished earlier with no joy and been at the top, come back down again, and only been in 5 minutes. Over it went. Wonderful. Lovely clean fish as well. Beautiful. I ate about 5 pounds, I should think. Something like that. But very, very welcome. I mean, seen the catch reports for this place. Very welcome indeed. Especially at 10, half 10 in the morning. Right, I'm not going to keep him out. Let's get him back in the water. So I go to sleep quite often, but especially this time of year, really important. You rest them up. Rest his barbel up. He's rested him up for maybe 10 minutes before I took him out of the water. I took him out for about a minute and give him another good rest. I think he's raring to go. Nice big landing net as well. He's raring to go. He's had 5 minutes of rest. So much mesh, it's hard to get him out, isn't it? There he goes. Fab. So the Dynamite hot fish strikes again. Does keep the chub away. I say it's Barbel absolutely love it. Right, let's have another go. Not particularly comfortable swim to sit in when you haven't got a chair, like I haven't. But it's in Barbel. Brilliant. A few more minutes in here. Perhaps another 10 or 15 minutes. See how we get on. If we have any more fish. If we do, great. If we don't, we'll move on. Put some bait in, move on. Can't imagine he's here on his own. He's actually just sat here chucking a few pellets in. There's a lot of smaller fish down here, and there was some chub, only about half a pound just upstream of me there. I was actually feeding them pellets. And as I say, a local chap came along, walking his dogs, just saying they could do with a bit more water in the river. And you saw the rest. Fab. Just going to give it 10 or 15 minutes in this one last swim on the feeder before we're going to have some lunch and chill out for a bit, because I don't think we're going to do much good in this weather. Time is, it's 2:15 actually, so yeah, it's sort of time to get a bit of bait in, I think, and rest the swims ready for this evening. I think our best bet of another barbel certainly this evening now. I think with this bright sun, the canoes that are going past, the relatively clear water, shallow clear water, I think really we're probably wasting our time at the moment. Well, I'd say we'll give it 10 or 15 minutes. I'm just on my way back up towards the car now. We'll give it 10 or 15 minutes before we call it quits for now. Loads and loads of bites, taps, rattles on this tip. Clearly lots of fish again down there, but not the species we're after. Sitting on my hands a bit, not literally because I'm holding the rod. That's not really not striking at anything. I'm only going to pick the rod up when it's doubled over. Good evening. It is now 6:30. So we've got 3.5 hours, something like that, left of since you last saw me. I've done a bit of trotting, which will be for the next video. I had a bit of a chill out in the car, had something to eat. It's been very sunny this afternoon, so there was nothing doing late morning or early afternoon. So as I say, did a bit of trotting, which is for the next video, and went and just had a bit of a chill out, a little bit of a snooze. Had some food. So what I'm going to do now is this sort of beach area. You can probably see here behind me. It's on this beach. Hence not being able to put this in. I've stuck it in my front pocket in my bag. Pretty much we'll do the same thing as we did this morning. As the sun starts to set and as the light fading, there's already shadows across the river here. It's not particularly deep here. There's a nice sort of gully in the middle of the river. I haven't seen anything to go on here. It's just a bit one of those you sort of, you've got to give it a bit of a try. It's one of those. There's about 3 or 4 swims further down to try. We've got plenty of time to do that. I think they're probably our better bets. But I didn't want to walk past here without, giving it a go. I did put a little bit of bait into the gully earlier on. So we'll just flick a feeder out there and give it, 20 minutes, something like that. See if we get any indications. You sort of usually know pretty quickly, don't you, when you're barbel fishing, if anything's going to happen. So, mix a little bit more ground bait. I'm running out. Never throw any of my ground bait away, always take it home, stick it in the freezer. It'll last as long as you want then, in the freezer. Keep it for as long as you like. I tend to pull barbel trips are not that regular. So just freeze it for the next trip. Now this stretch is, as I said earlier, it's Wye I'd foundation. You can fish an hour after sunset. The sunset's just before 9 o'clock today, so we can fish just about till 10 without bending the rules too much. I must admit, I haven't been that many times to the Wye, but fishing in the dark doesn't seem to be particularly good anyway in the Wye. Dawn and dusk seem fantastic. The day depends what sort of day it is and what conditions the river's in. But I always tend to fish into dark, and I think I've only had one fish in the when you'd say it was dark. Right, I'm going to oink this out over there. It's hard to see from here where the gully is. You can see better from up in the trees up there. But obviously I can't cast them over there. think I might be do myself a favour and stand up and cast this in. Well, it's getting a lot of attention already. Just need it to hoop over. Certainly some fish in that gully. Hopefully a few of them are barbel. So we're back in a swim we caught from this morning. Been putting bait in regularly all day into here. I'm going to do is take off this big feeder and put a smaller one on. As I say, I've been putting bait in pretty much all day, sporadically. I don't think we need to go mad. Right, like the blue touch paper, and hopefully we'll give it half an hour. If we don't get anything, we'll bait it up, move on, and come back again later on. I think this is probably the most likely swim we're going to catch in. I don't say that because we've caught in it, but we've got a lovely sort of shallow area of rock right the way across the river in front of me. It's maybe 2 or 3 foot deep on there, and it deepens off in here, and there's this cover which actually is much more than you can see there. If you've been walking along, there's 3 or 4 willows there all in the water, so I'm thinking that the fish probably sat under there. We managed to tempt that one out this morning. So we'll keep at it. I'm not going to sit here and hammer it. It'd be worth trying a few other swims as well. We'll sort of drop into this one and then perhaps do another one, come back, have another go at this one. Sooner or later we'll get them, really pull them out of those trees, assuming they're there. Certainly glad to have caught a barbel, but would be nice to catch another 1 or 2. But to be honest, catching one has been a success, I think, really. I was reading the catch returns when I was having something to eat, chilling out a bit. Lots of people don't catch anything, any barbel down here, and just get plagued by small fish, and other people might have 1 or 2 barbel between 3 anglers. So yeah, certainly a successful day. Although we're coming to the best part of the day now, aren't we? Barbel o'clock. So last roll of the dice. Back in the swim we caught the barbel. For the last sort of 45 minutes. Sun has set now. So yeah, this is the sort of time really would expect the barbel to start coming out to play. They are going to come out to play at all. Whoa! Blimey, I just look round. 1 minute. Literally, I was just grabbing some pellets. My goodness me. I was just grabbing a handful of pellets. Fortunately, I had my elbow on the rod. Blimey. Feels a decent fish. Just got into that flow, it's just sitting in that flow. Don't feel a bad one. Just plodding around. Can't really see him, it's too dark. Oh, he's not massive. Certainly not complaining. Oh, he's pulling my arm off. Wow. It's not huge at all. Right, here you come. Oh. Well, that's made it all worthwhile. I just turned around I was just going to flick catapult some pellets in. I was just reaching for my catapult. Felt the rod hit my arm. Well, we're resting up before we listen. Well guys, there we are. Wonderful stuff. This one was determined to give me a beating on the bank. I've rested him up, he's well rested. Wonderful stuff. Bookend of the day pretty much. One in the morning, one in the evening. Right, once again, it's the summer, so I'm not going to keep him out very long at all. Let's get him straight back. So guys, we've got half an hour left. I'm going to make the most of it. I've just got this barbel in the net here. Give him 5 or 10 minutes just to get his breath back before we let him go. Make sure he's nice and strong. Go back. Got the rod back in the water. Just make the most of the last sort of 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But I'm very happy with that, to be honest. Oh, here we go again. Wow. Blimey. Well guys, just cast in again. A couple of taps off small fish and then we're away again. Try how much you'll be able to see. Head torch on, we might be able to see a bit better. Just plodding. Feel that coming. that soon after the previous one. I've got it back yet. Still resting up in the net. He's trying to get down in that snag. Got to stop him getting down there. Oh, he's off again. This does feel a better fish, I have to say. Doesn't look a better fish. I can see him there. Oh, it's slightly better. Oh. Oh, it's a better fish. Oh, Jack. Got him. Yeah, it's a better fish. Wow. There we go. Another wonderful river torpedo. Fab. Once again, we'll just have a quick look at him and get him back. Wonderful. Beautiful. What an evening. Fantastic. Right, let's get him back. No waffling. Well, he's been resting up for 10 minutes or so. He's ready to move. Yeah, well rested. Very feisty. Good chap. It's such deep mesh. There it goes. Fantastic. The second best bit. Hear people say it's the best bit seeing them go back. It's not, is it? The best bit is catching them. The second best bit is seeing them go back. Wonderful. As usual with barbel fishing, last knockings does the trick. Love to stay. Just return that bigger one. I'd love to stay, but it's curfew time and it's been a long day, to be honest, and I'm not greedy. That's fantastic. To be honest, if you'd offered me one barbel when I left home this morning, I'd have been happy looking at the catch reports that have come out of here the last few weeks. To get 3, over the moon. Absolutely over the moon. As I say, it's curfew time. It's about 10 to 10, so I'm going to make a move. Now, as I mentioned, if you are interested in seeing the trotting video that I did here, sort of lunchtime when the canoes were coming through, although they weren't too bad, to be fair, there wasn't too many, then that'll be for the next video. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had half as much fun watching as I did catching those fish. Tight lines. Enjoy your own angling if you get out there. Many thanks to the channel patrons. Your support is fantastic. And I'll see you all again very soon.